Hello students, we are on lecture 5, structure of atom. Till now what we have done is the Bohr concept, its success, its limitations, numericals, and but for the main limitations of Bohr model, that the Zeeman effect, the Stark's effect, Heisenberg uncertainty principle concept, all these things were not explained and were not given emphasis in case of the Bohr's model. So later on, Louis de Broglie, a French physicist, advanced the idea that, like the photon, all the other material particles are also having the dual nature, that is, the dual nature of matter. So it was known as the de Broglie concept, according to which all material particles in the motion possess the wave characteristic. So all the material particles, remember, these are the particles, but they are also possessing the wave character. So the wave associated with the material particles are given the name the de Broglie waves or the matter waves. This was applicable for electron, proton, atom, nucleus, atom, molecule, the microscopic objects. Now what the de Broglie has done, he has derived an equation based on the dual nature of matter. So we will be doing the derivation of de Broglie equation. Now, the two main equations that were considered are, one is the Planck's quantum theory. Planck's quantum theory, according to which E is equal to h nu. We did it in the lecture 1. Now, the next is the Einstein equation, the mass energy relationship. The Einstein equation, according to which E is equal to mc square. We all know that C is equal to nu lambda or nu is equal to C by lambda. So when equation is equal to two equation, both are the equations of energy. H nu is equal to mc square. H into C by lambda is equal to mc square. What we can further use here? We can cancel out one of the C with the other. On the next side, we get H upon lambda is equal to mc, or lambda is equal to h upon mc. But student, C is the velocity of the light. It is taken in case of photon, velocity of light. But now we are talking about the material particles. So C is substituted by V, because we are not talking about the light, we are talking about the material particle. C is substituted by symbol V, which is the velocity. So now what the formula becomes for lambda? Lambda is equal to h upon mv. We all know that mass into velocity is momentum. So lambda is equal to h upon p. So this lambda is now known as de Broglie wavelength. This is known as de Broglie wavelength. The wavelength that we have studied previously was for the electromagnetic radiation, but now this is for the matter waves. As we move with this topic, something which become very important to be known is, the first is, what is the difference between a wave and a particle? So let us start with the topic, the difference between particle and wave. Particle and wave. So we will do the tabular difference in CBSE. The tabular differences are very much preferred, particle and wave. So whenever we talk about the particle, we represent it by a dot. The wave, it is always represented in this motion. So the first basic difference between the particle and wave is, particles are localized in space. They can be seen, they can be localized in space. We can represent them very easily. But when we are talking about wave, a wave is spread out in the space. It is spread out in the space. So we can call them as delocalized in nature. Delocalized in nature. Okay. Now the second one. When we are representing a particle, then at the same position we cannot represent two particles at the same point. So we can say that the particles do not interfere with each other's position. Particles do not interfere in each other's position. Do not interfere. But what about the wave? The wave can interfere and coexist in the same region. So the waves can interfere if they are present in the same space. The waves can interfere in space with each other. Space as they can coexist. Okay. Now the third difference between the wave and a particle. The third difference becomes the resultant nature. Okay, so if there are number of particles present in a given region, so we can say that if there are number of particles in a given region, we can say that total value for particles is equal to their sum, simply to their total or the sum. We will do the addition that how many particles are present and we will give the total value. But when we are talking about the waves are present in a given region, they can coexist at the same place. So what about the resultant, the total? The resultant wave can be larger or can be smaller than the individual waves. The resultant wave can be larger or can be smaller than the individual waves. Okay, so in case of particles, since they are existing in the same space, they are existing in the space, but they cannot interfere with each other. So their total value is equal to the sum. But in case of the wave, it can be either larger or it can be smaller, but because the waves can coexist in the same space. So these are some of the basic differences that how a particle is different from the wave. Similarly, what we can do is we can prepare a difference table for the matter and the electromagnetic waves also. The two different types of lambda, the matter and the electromagnetic waves. So in this case, what we will do, we will prepare a difference between the electromagnetic waves and the second are the matter waves. That was given in terms of the de Broglie concept. Electromagnetic waves we are doing from the very beginning. Electromagnetic waves are those waves in which the electrical and magnetic fields, the electric and the magnetic fields, both are perpendicular to each other, as well as to the direction of propagation, The total starting of this lesson was done with the electromagnetic waves, direction of propagation. But when we are talking about the matter waves, these waves are not associated. These waves are not associated with electrical and magnetic field. Electrical and magnetic fields. Okay, now coming to the second point of difference among the electromagnetic and the matter waves. For the electromagnetic waves, no medium is required. That is, the donor do not require any medium for propagation. They can pass even through the vacuum. Do not require any medium for propagation. But when we talk about the matter waves, these are the material waves. So they require medium for propagation. The electromagnetic waves can even pass through the vacuum, but the matter waves cannot pass through the vacuum. Now coming to the third difference. The third difference is when we are talking about lambda. In case of electromagnetic waves, lambda is equal to c by nu. But in case of material waves, that are the waves given by the de Broglie, lambda is equal to h upon p. That is, lambda is inversely related to the momentum of the particle. Now the fourth one. Some very important differences are there. In case of electromagnetic waves, we are considering c. And what is c? It is the speed of the light. So the electromagnetic waves travel with the speed of light. With the speed of light. That is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. But what about the material waves? Since they are moving through the material or the medium, their speed is always less than the electromagnetic waves. So their speed is always less than the electromagnetic waves. Now this is the very starting of the de Broglie concept, the difference between the matter and the electromagnetic waves, the difference between the wave and the particle. But the main thing here, can we apply this de Broglie equation to each and every particle? So the significance of de Broglie waves, significance of de Broglie equation. So this equation, we can say that it is applicable to all the material objects, but the main significance of de Broglie equation is only in case of microscopic objects or microscopic particle. So the general phenomena says that the de Broglie equation is applicable to all the material objects, but the practical applications, practically this equation is applicable only for microscopic objects. This is one of the very important point, that only for microscopic objects we can apply the de Broglie equation. Microscopic objects or particles, basically the particles. So the significance of de Broglie occurs in case of the microscopic particles. And this relationship is not at all applicable, not at all significant for the everyday life things. So this is but the main concept of the de Broglie. It was verified by various different experiments also. Now coming to some of the important concept of it, and also one of the NCERT back question which is related to the concept of de Broglie as well as the angular momentum. So the next one, how we can relate the de Broglie concept with the Bohr's angular momentum. So there is a derivation related to angular momentum as given by Bohr, angular momentum which was given in the Bohr's model and de Broglie concept. So let us find out the difference between the two. Okay, what the angular momentum given by given in Bohr's model? We have done the Bohr model. The angular momentum is mvr, which is equal to nh upon 2 pi. Let us try to relate it with the de Broglie concept. mvr, substituting the value and referring to the other things also, 2 pi r is equal to nh upon mv. We can correlate the values, we can cross multiply the things here. R is the radius, r is equivalent to the radius of the orbit. V, what is V? V is the velocity, then m is the mass of the particle, and h is the Planck's constant. Now, what is 2 pi r? 2 pi r actually represent this whole value. It is equivalent to the circumference of the orbit. We can say that complete 2 pi r. What is 2 pi r? It is circumference of the orbit. So what is 2 pi r? We can say the circumference is circumference of orbit is equal to integral multiple of h upon p. What is h upon p? It is de Broglie wavelength. De Broglie wavelength. So what becomes now, the total formula now becomes the circumference of the orbit is integral multiple of de Broglie wavelength. This is question number 32 of our NCERT exercise. So the derived part of which is Bohr orbit, Bohr's angular momentum related to the de Broglie concept. Now similarly, we can also calculate the de Broglie wavelength of electron from the potential applied to accelerate it. The other thing, the de Broglie concept can also be applied for the potential, now relating it to the kinetic energy. Now let us derive a relation between the potential applied, when the potential applied, accelerating potential V is applied, and how it is related to the de Broglie's wavelength. So now we are doing the calculation related to kinetic energy and the de Broglie wavelength. So if accelerating potential V is applied, there is also a question related to this topic in our NCERT. If accelerating potential V is applied to the electron beam, the energy acquired by electron is expressed in terms of kinetic energy. The energy is acquired by the electron. So we can here write it as kinetic energy, the acquired energy, the energy which is used to accelerate the motion. The kinetic energy is equal to half mv square, or we can write it as V is equal to under root twice kinetic energy upon mass of electron. So now we know that lambda, according to de Broglie concept, lambda is equal to h upon mv. Substituting the value of V in the equation, we get h upon m, then under root m upon 2ke. Substituting the value of V in the formula. So it becomes h upon under root 2m and multiple of kinetic energy. So the lambda, the de Broglie wavelength, is related to the kinetic energy of the particle also. So this formula is also going to help us when we will be doing the numericals of the de Broglie concept. So let us start with some numerical part. Okay, the first question, the very first very simple question of our book. Calculate the wavelength associated with electron The mass of the electron should be remembered by each and every student, that mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. So the electron is moving. It was given that the electron is moving with the velocity of 10 to the power 3 meter per second. So we have to calculate lambda. Now this lambda is to be calculated for electrons. So we are not going to use the previous formula C is equal to nu lambda. We are going to use the formula given by de Broglie, that is lambda is equal to h upon mv. So h is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34. The mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg, and the velocity is 10 to the power 3. So what the answer that we will be getting here now is 7.25 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. So the de Broglie wavelength comes out to be 7.25 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. Try to do all these numericals along with the notes part. Now this is again, we are coming to question number 2. It is also the NCERT solved example. What will be the wavelength? What will be the wavelength, that is the lambda, of a ball. Now, as soon as you see the term ball here, again you are going to move according to the de Broglie concept. Ball of mass 0.1 kg with a velocity of 10 meter per second. So using the de Broglie formula, lambda is equal to h upon mv is equal to 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34. The mass is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. No, that is for the electrons. This time we are talking about the ball. So we will substitute the mass of the ball, that is 0.1 kg, and the velocity of the ball is given as 10. So the formula is very simple here to calculate. It becomes 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 meter. Very simple calculations. Now coming to the NCERT, another question. It is also the solved example here. Calculate the mass of photon. Calculate the mass of photon having the wavelength is given here 3.6 Armstrong. Okay, so in this case, when we are solving the answer, the first basic thing comes, we have to convert Armstrong into meter. It becomes 10 to the power minus 10 meter. Now we have to calculate the mass using the formula of de Broglie concept, that is lambda is equal to h upon mv, or m is equal to h upon v into lambda. It is equal to 6.626 10 to the power minus 34 upon v, that is the velocity, and in case of photon we all know that the velocity is taken as 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and the lambda is given as 3.6 into 10 to the power minus 10. So we will get the answer here as 6.135 into 10 to the power minus 29, and the unit is kg. Now another question. There are very interesting questions of this topic. Now coming to the other question. Now in this question, what is given is, it is NCERT back exercise question. The mass of electron is given as 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. The mass of electron is given, and now this time they have given us the kinetic energy. The kinetic energy given is 3 into 10 to the power minus 25 joule. What we have to calculate? We have to calculate the wavelength. As we are talking about the electrons, we are going to apply the de Broglie concept. There are two different methods of doing this question. We can either use kinetic energy is equal to half mv square, then substituting the value of kinetic energy, 3 into 10 to the power minus 25 is equal to half into 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 into v square. So v square is equal to 6 into 10 to the power minus 25 divided by 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31. Calculating the v, we get 6 upon 9.1 into 10 to the power 6, and solving this for v, we will get it nearly approximate equal to 812 meter per second. It comes out to be 812 meter per second. Now substituting the value in lambda's formula, lambda is equal to h upon mv, that is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34. The mass of electron is given as 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31, and the velocity we have calculated is 812. So calculating all the things, multiplying the values, we will get the answer as 8967 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter. It is 8967 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter. So either we can do, we will calculate the velocity using kinetic energy and then substituting in the formula of lambda. Or what we can do, we can use the direct formula also that we have just used. The formula is lambda is equal to h upon m under root m upon ke, 2ke, the formula that we have just derived, or lambda is equal to h upon under root 2 into m into ke. So lambda we have to calculate is lambda is equal to 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 and 2 into 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31, and the kinetic energy given is 3 into 10 to the power minus 25. So in this case also what we can do, we can calculate the lambda. So the lambda comes out nearly about, solving all the things, the lambda comes out to be 8967 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter. So these are the two alternate methods how to calculate the lambda, either using the direct formula as we have just done, either using the direct formula of the lambda, or by substituting the value of lambda separately and v separately. Now the last one question is very important. It is related how to calculate and compare the values. So it is also a very repeatedly used question in the paper. Two particles A and B. Two particles A and B are there. Okay, the wavelength associated with the particle A. The wavelength associated with particle A is equal to 5 into 10 to the power minus 8 meter. And the wavelength associated with particle B has to be calculated. But the one thing that they have given is particle B, that its momentum is half of that of A. The one thing that was given is the momentum of particle B is half the momentum of particle A. So I'm repeating the question first. Two particles A and B are in motion. They both are in motion. Now the wavelength of particle A is 5 into 10 to the power minus 8 meter. And the wavelength of particle B has to be calculated. But the ratio that they have given is that the momentum of B is half of momentum of A. So using again the de Broglie concept, lambda is equal to h upon momentum of A. Lambda B is equal to h upon momentum of B. Okay, so if we simultaneously solve both the equation, lambda A upon lambda B is equal to PB upon PA. H and H are going to be cancelled out. But we know that PB is equal to half of PA. So we will substitute the value in the equation. Lambda A upon lambda B is equal to half of PA divided by PA. So cancelling out all the things PA to PA, we will get lambda A upon lambda B is equal to 1 by 2, or lambda B is equal to twice of lambda A. But the lambda A value is given in the question. So lambda B comes out to be 2 into the value of lambda A given in the question is 5 into 10 to the power minus 8 meter. So the overall answer comes out to be 10 to the power minus 7 meter. So this is all about the de Broglie concept and the various numericals. In the next lecture, we will be doing the Heisenberg uncertainty principle.